So the KEMRI-Wellcome Trust Research Program was created with two main goals, as it were. One is to conduct research to the highest scientific and ethical standards internationally, and two, in the process of conducting the research, to build the next generation of research leaders, not just in Kenya, but in the region.
We do a broad range of scientific research. We work on clinical research, population health, health system and research ethics. We work on vaccines and on transmissions in genomics. We do that based here in Kilifi on the Kenyan coast from 4 scientific departments, from Nairobi, and also from a hub in Mbale in eastern Uganda.
Our vision is to conduct studies that have immediate translational importance in the care of children and newborns. When we first started the program, our studies focused more on disease processes and understanding them, and this has evolved to early phase studies and then evolved further to multi-center studies. Our main research outputs are in the areas of HIV, malnutrition, newborn health and cognition, critical care, as well as sickle cell disease and black water fever.
Since 2008, I've been working with the director of the Mbale Clinical Research Institute, Dr. Peter Olipot. The first piece of research that we did was the fluid resuscitation trial called FEAST. This was published in 2011 to wide acclaim and has subsequently led to further funding of large multi-centre trials in severe critical illness. One is a transfusion trial called TRACT, which we've recently completed, and another which we've just started, an oxygen administration trial called COAST.
So I'm the head of the Department of Epidemiology and Demography. So our department's a large department within the programme. It's centred around the Kilifi Health and Demographic Surveillance System, which has been running for more than 10 years. It's the largest demographic surveillance system in Africa. And then we have 3 main themes within our department. One on invasive bacterial diseases, and particularly on the vaccines that prevent them, including pneumococcal vaccine. Another theme that involves viral diseases, and particularly respiratory viruses and respiratory syncytial viruses are our main strength. And then another group working on inherited diseases, specifically how they protect you against infectious diseases and some of the consequences of that as well, including sickle cell disease. So those are our main areas of work.
The focus for our research is to understand pathogen-host interactions that underpin either the immunity or pathogenesis associated with tropical diseases. Our studies are geared to help us to understand how we can develop and test better vaccines to protect our communities from vaccine-preventable diseases. So we also study vector biology in order to understand how we can better control vector-borne diseases like malaria, Zika, dengue, and other viruses.
So the Health Systems and Research Ethics Department has got broad pieces of work, and we have 2 main goals. One is to contribute to understanding and strengthening the working of healthcare systems. And the other one is to strengthen ethical conduct of research and of our kinds of programs in context like where we are currently situated. Another block of work is obviously empirical research ethics. That is a part of work that I'm heavily involved in. And we are looking at issues of informed consent, issues of acceptable levels of compensation, fair benefits. Also, we have discrete pieces. My fellowship is a discrete piece of work that is looking at community engagement around biobanking. And then we have a whole area around engaging communities and publics. And that is both operational work and also research work.
So the Nairobi program focuses on public health and health systems research. We have a group that focuses on improving the quality of care of children that are admitted in hospitals in Kenya. We have a group that focuses on health economics and broader health systems issue. Then we have a whole group that focuses on malaria epidemiology. And then we have a group that looks at malnutrition in children. So our work on improving the quality of care that is given to children in hospitals in Kenya has contributed to developing national guidelines, evidence-based guidelines by the government on how to manage sick children in hospitals.
Some of the earliest work we did was on insecticide-treated bed nets, and that work was really foundational in terms of demonstrating that bed nets had the potential to protect children from severe malaria and death. The malaria transmission context in Kenya and in Africa is different now, partly as a result of the work that we did. And then one of the headline-grabbing things that we were linked to recently was the testing of the Ebola vaccine. When testing had to be done very rapidly in a controlled setting, we were one of the few sites in Africa that was able to respond to that. And the vaccine that we tested went on to be used with good effect in West Africa to restrain the spread of the Ebola epidemic.
The success of our work relies on us being able to develop and establish a healthy relationship with the local community. And this is because for us to be able to conduct health research, we rely on communities to be able to volunteer and participate in our various research activities. To ensure that that happens, we do always undertake several or various community engagement activities and address issues that are of concern for the work that we do for both us and the community.
So a part of the future that I'm really enthusiastic about is seeing the next generation of scientific leaders coming up through the training department. That's been the result of really long-term investment in training, and it's been particularly accelerated recently with funding from Wellcome and DFID. We have laid the foundation for some really long-term surveillance data sets and for some very extensive sample collections through space and time, and those will be an important resource to exploit for the future.